All right. Hello, everybody, and happy Friday. I am excited to be here with you today. I'm not sure this is a holiday weekend or a 3-day weekend or whatever. For those of you who actually get to celebrate holidays and have days off, I never have a day off. But anyway, so that is coming up on Monday. So maybe some of you have taken off. I'm not sure. We'll see how many folks we've got lined up today. But I am excited to be here. I spent the last week at a conference. So I was in Fort Lauderdale 2 weeks ago for a corporate retreat, this cohort mastermind group that I am participating in this year. Which I've talked to you about with the 3-2-1 method, and we'll talk about that more later today. But our retreat was in Fort Lauderdale 2 weeks ago, or actually just last week. And while I was there, I learned about another conference, which was in West Palm Beach just this last week. And when I initially looked at what it was about, I thought, oh, this is, really interesting. It's all about corporate training. And so I initially thought, oh, maybe I'll go to that next year. And then I looked at the agenda and all of the topics, and there were so much about skills-based training and AI, which is what I do, skills-based training, and we're implementing more and more AI in our courses. Those of you who have had access to year 2 of the gym have seen that a little bit. And so I said, oh my gosh, I have to be at this conference. And so I got home, pretty much slept in my bed for a couple days, and then turned around and headed back to Florida. So that's where I was this last week. I just got home late last night, and I am happy to be back in my own bed. I'm happy to be back in the studio. I am happy to be back with you guys and focused more on making things better for you guys. So I'm seeing a lot of people coming in, Facebook users that have not given eCam permission. I don't know who you are, so I can't call you out, but Donna, good morning, and Corey, good morning, and Jamie, what is that? I don't know, I don't know what you said, Jamie. Maybe it was an emoji that's not coming through on my side. I don't know. Steve, good morning. Anyway, so Joel has put a little reminder in the chat about eCam. So we do broadcast this on eCam, and in order for me to see who you are, you have to give Facebook permission to eCam, or you have to give eCam permission for Facebook. Anyway, you have to give your permission for eCam to use your name. So I hope you do that so that I know who you are and I can answer questions and talk to you. All right, if you guys, we might have some new folks on today, but if you have been on for a while, you know that I typically spend the first several minutes just giving announcements and just welcoming and just talking about that, and I always talk too much. Today, Joel has to leave early, and I also have another appointment that I have today. So we're gonna try really, really hard to be on time, and we're gonna dive right in, and then I'm gonna make my announcements throughout instead of just doing them up at the beginning. Rachel is saying she got a login error, says try again later. I don't know if that's the eCam thing, but if it is, it worked because I see who you are. So yay, thank you. All right, so let me just hop on over. I'm going to share my screen. So for those of you, this is mostly for those of you who might be watching this on YouTube, because if you're on live, you're already part of the group. Welcome, Maggie. She says it's the first time she's able to participate, so yay. So this live stream, hold on, I just want to make sure you can see the screen. Okay, So this is our weekly live stream that we do inside of our free Facebook group called the QBO Gym Locker Room on Facebook. If you are live here, that means you're already part of the locker room, because you have to be a part of the locker room in order to see it live. If you are watching the recording on YouTube, then of course the link is down below. But here's what's so great about the QBO Gym Locker Room is this is your spot for hands-on practice using QuickBooks Online. That is what we do. That we are all about hands-on practice using QuickBooks Online. To help you do that, we have a free Getting Started course that everyone that's in the locker room gets access to. I'll talk about more about that Getting Started course a little bit later, because we're actually going to focus on that a little bit today. And then you also have access to over 100 free exercises that you can do online, inside QuickBooks Online, hands-on, to actually get practice doing the thing. If you're inside the Facebook group, here's how you find it. There is a featured section right here. If you're on your phone, you might see just the featured tabs up at the top. But there is this featured section, and then inside this post is the link to the so this post, and then there's the link to the actual exercises. As part of the locker room, you get a free exercise of the week, which is what we're going over today. Other people have to pay for that. So, but by being part of the locker room and being on the live stream live, you get your free exercise of the week. So we're going to do that today also. And then obviously, this is where we are right now. Weekly live streams, so you can follow along. We do it every Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern. And it is streamed inside the Facebook group. So that's why you have to be a member of the Facebook group to get in there. All right, so we are going to start today by doing one of our exercises that comes from the Getting Started, our Getting Started course. Okay, so when you click on here, and then click the link, you're going to open up a page that looks like this. And this is how you access all of our exercises. I'm getting a post about the marketing prompts. So I don't know who you are, but we're going to talk about the marketing prompts later. So I'm sorry, I got distracted. We're going to talk about marketing prompts more, because that's one of my announcements. So thank you, whoever that is. Now, the majority of the exercises come from all of our courses. Okay, so the one that we're going to talk about, the one that we're going to start with today, is actually comes from the Getting Started course. Okay, now the Getting Started course, other people can buy it here for $1. If you're in the locker room, it's free. You should automatically have gotten it. If you didn't automatically get it, then email support@fastandeasyqbo.com and we'll look into your account and see. But as soon as you joined the locker room, we gave you that, or we offered it to you. You didn't have to take it, but we offered this course, the free hands-on, or this Getting Started. And I want to show you just a little bit about what's in this course. Okay, so this is all about the basics of QBO, and it's where you start if you don't know anything. Okay, if you don't even have your account. Okay, I'm going to go up here to the course map so you can see what all is in it. We call it Getting Started the Fast and Easy Way. It's going to tell you what even is QBOA. QBOA is your accountant version of QuickBooks Online. It's free for accountants, and but it's different than regular QBO accounts. And so I talk about like what's different, and then I talk about how to set up your account. And there are a few tricks of the trade, like especially if you're brand new. If you don't set it up correctly, it can be a little bit of a headache to change later. So I go in to talk about that. Then we talk about like navigating QBOA, like where things are, and what the sections are, how it all works. And then in the next module, we talk about accessing the sample company. Now, the sample company is where we do all of our exercises, okay? So, and what you're going to see today is we're going to load the sample company as we go through the exercises today. So we talk about how to access the sample company, how to use the sample company, and then you're actually going to have actual hands-on exercises to just kind of get oriented. And the first one is this exercise on sales receipts. So you can either, from inside the Getting Started course, you could go to the sales receipt module. There's a little video where I teach you about sales receipts. And then all of our courses are gamified. So, as soon as you do something, you click it, you get a little ka-ching, you get, oh, woohoo, and points and all this fun stuff. And then right here is where you would click to open the exercise we're going to do today. Or if you don't want to do it from inside the course, you can just access it right here from the list of 100 free hands-on exercises, okay? So either way, this one is going to open it. I forgot that it does this. Open up right inside here, but you can maximize it to open it up on its own page, okay? So here's our scenario. Dylan Solfrank walked into Craig's shop and purchased a rock fountain with cash. Create a sales receipt to account for the sale. Now, for those of you who are brand new, a sales receipt is, and Joel has just put the link in the chat also, and it was in the email that I sent you guys this morning with the agenda. So if you're brand new, and I cover this in the Getting Started course, a sales receipt is how you record a purchase at the time of the sale, okay? So imagine you go to the grocery store, you buy a thing, and you pay for it right then, okay? So in our scenario here, Dylan has walked into Craig's shop, purchased a rock fountain, okay? So he purchased that rock fountain, and so it's at the time of the sale, so we're going to use a sales receipt. Now that's different than when you are paying your utilities, for example, okay? So you go to the grocery store, you buy something, you pay for it right then. But for your utilities, what do you get in the mail? You get a bill, right? So that's different. That's a different transaction in QuickBooks Online. So this is how we're going to do it. We're going to start in the sample company. And, oh, darn it, I forgot because I'm doing this out of order. It's okay. I'll just have to log in again later. Okay, so here I am inside my QBO account, my accountant account. I can tell that I'm in my accountant account because it says accountant up here and the left nav bar is gray. Okay, so to get to the sample company, I'm going to click the gear icon and I'm going to select sample company. Now, when I do that, it's going to log me out of my QBOA account. So you never want to do this. You certainly don't want to do this if you are taking the test, for example. For those of you studying for the Pro Advisor test, you don't want to open the sample company while you're taking the test because it'll log you out. So we teach you actually ways to get around that so you can have both open at the same time if that's one of your goals. All right, so I am loading up the sample company, and Craig's Design and Landscaping Services is our this is our fictitious business owner, and now I am looking at Craig's books as if I am the bookkeeper. Okay, so now you can tell that we're in Craig's books. Well, not only does it say Craig's Design and Landscaping Services, but you can notice how this left navigation bar has turned black. Okay, so that tells me that I'm inside a client account. I'm no longer in just my accountant account. You can also tell that you're in as the accountant because it says Accountant Tools up here. So that means you're an accountant looking at Craig's books. Okay, so let's go back and look at our scenario. I have so many tabs open. Okay, this is the one we want. All right, so Dylan Solfrank walked into Craig's shop and purchased a rock fountain with cash. We're going to create a sales receipt to account for the sale, okay? Because he bought it right at that time, okay? So we're going to start in the sample company, okay? Get a warning that you're going to get logged out, okay? So now to start with the sales receipt, we're going to click plus new. Right here, this plus new button, which is, if you're brand new, this is one of the places that you're in all the time. Plus, I have like, when I talk about navigating, finding your way in QBOA, like this is one of the places where you are all the time. So we're going to hit plus new and we're going to select sales receipt. Okay, so then we clicked sales receipt. Okay. In the customer field, we're going to select Dylan Solfrank because he's the one. Okay, so I'm going to click in here, and there's a number of ways that I could get him. So I see him right there, so I could just select it. If it's the person's further down the list, you can actually just start typing the name and it'll narrow it down. One thing I wanted to point out is last week we talked about adding customers. And you can add customers from the sales center, but you can also add customers right while you are doing a sales receipt. This is super handy. It's super handy. In fact, I would say that I almost always create customers like from within the transaction. I rarely create customers first from the sales center. So this is like a super common way. And if you were on last week, or you watched the recording from last week, or you did that previous exercise, then you know that you know what it looks like. And adding it here, it looks identical. Okay, but for the purposes of this exercise, we're going to select Dylan Solfrank. Okay, now you'll notice that nothing came across in so there's no email address that's already associated with him. If in his account he already had information associated with him, then it would automatically come across his email address, his billing address, and maybe some other things that we have pre-set up. But for the case of Dylan, we are not, he doesn't have any, and that's fine. This, if we wanted to send a copy of the sales receipt to Dylan, we'd put his email address, but really for today, this is just for our purposes. We're just going to record it. We don't need to send it to him, so we're not going to put in the email address. Okay. The date of the sales receipt is defaulted to either today or the last date that you used. So this is defaulting to today. Of course, you want to make sure that this is accurate. And then we have the payment method. Okay. Now, what did the exercise say that the payment method was? Let's go back and look at it. Okay. In step 5 here, it says the payment method, select cash. That was in our scenario up at the top. Okay. So he paid for it with cash. So in the payment field, we're going to select cash. Okay, payment method, we're going to select cash. We don't need a reference number. If the reference number is really for check number. If he had paid with a check, you would put the check number here. That's really what it's for. I mean, you could, if he had like written, maybe Craig hand wrote one of those carbon copy receipts, and then he gave the carbon copy receipt to you to then put in QBO. You could add the number from that carbon copy receipt, but most of the time reference number is just a check number, so we can leave that. But here's the thing that I wanted to point out, okay? So now it's going to ask me, where am I putting this money, okay? And we're putting it into an account called undeposited funds. Undeposited funds is you can kind of think of it as a drawer or an envelope, or just like a place where you hold on to cash and checks before they get deposited to the bank. Okay? So when you're getting cash, right? You're not like putting that in the bank. You have to like take that cash and then travel to the bank, right? It's not like if you get a check, maybe you could do mobile deposit and you could deposit it right then into the checking account. But most of the time you're getting cash, and even sometimes if you get checks, you're going to put those all together in like your money bag, and then you're going to walk over to the bank. So in the period of time that they are in that money bag, they're in an account called undeposited funds. And then later, and we're not going to do this today, but later you're going to take that money and you're going to deposit it into the bank. And when you deposit it, it's going to say, where's the money coming from? And you're going to say, it's coming from undeposited funds. Now, undeposited funds in some accounts is called payments to deposit. So I think all brand new QBO accounts, it says payments to deposit. Older accounts, which the sample company is, it says undeposited funds, but it's the same concept, okay? So it's this interim place that you put the money until you have a chance to go to the bank, okay? Super, super important, and it's going to be even more important when we go on to the next exercise, okay? So what did Dylan buy? He bought a rock fountain. And on previous one of these live streams, I'm pretty sure we talked all about products and services and setting them up. And you notice that it's in a category called design. It's rock fountain is pre-filled in. The rate that we charge is already pre-filled in. That's because it all was pre-programmed in the products and services account, or in the product and services list. Okay. All right. So we've got products and service, rock fountain that we're buying. Let me hop back over to my exercise. We talked about the date. We talked about products and service. We talked about the rock fountain. And now we're going to just save this. Okay. So we're going to go back to the exercise. And you'll notice I have a number of options for saving. If I use the black button to save, that leaves I stay on the same page, which sometimes you want to do, but rarely. If I click just save and send, that would email it to him if I had email address. You can't email from the sample company, so it doesn't work either way. But if I click the little arrow, I can either then save this one and create a new sales receipt if I had a bunch that I was doing, or in our case, we're done, so we're just going to click save and close. Okay. All right. So that is, let me go back real quick. Okay. All right. So that is the exercise. You can get the starter kit right here. You can watch a video walkthrough. I mean, you just watched me just now, but we have these also we're trying to get them on all of our exercises. They're not on all of our exercises, but anyway. And you can send feedback if QBO is always changing. And so you can use this feedback form to tell us if something looks different or is changed based on what you're seeing here, and we'll go back and we'll get those updated. Okay, now that is the exercise. That is our Fast and Easy QBO exercise that we created for the Getting Started course. The next exercise we're going to do is the exercise of the week. The exercise of the week comes from Intuit directly. All right, so, and I'm hurrying through this a little bit because I know Joel has to leave. And so, Joel, if you can go ahead and put in the exercise of the week link so everyone has it, and then so I got distracted. Iris, you're so cute. Thank you. So Joel can put in that link, and then he can take off, and we'll just continue going. Okay. So hopefully, let's see. I just want to check the chat real quick. The link that's in there is the, that's the one. Okay, good. He got it. All right. So let's talk about the exercise of the week. Now, the exercise of the week, the purpose of the exercise of the week is to keep your BooksMatch account active. So let me back up and talk a little bit about the QBO. We're done with this exercise. We're done with this is the Getting Started course. We're done with this is the hands-on exercises link. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about the QBO gym. So what we just did, the exercise that we just did, is a one-off exercise to teach you a particular feature. Okay, so we just taught you how to create a sales receipt. Boom, done. Okay, and now you know how to create a sales receipt. The QBO gym is an immersive, experiential, simulated experience of being a bookkeeper. So when you log into the QBO gym, you're going to actually be the bookkeeper for Craig for an entire month. We actually have this is year one. In year one, we have 12 months that you're actually working with Craig's books. And you're going to do all of the things that you would normally do in a month's worth of, what am I doing here? In a month's worth of time working on Craig. So the warm-up section, so it's all like, this gym theme, we're all like working out. And so we have the warm-up section, which is where you do all of the money in and money out. So in this case, in February, we do have a sales receipt that you have to do, but that's in context of all of the things that have happened to Craig that month. So we have the warm-ups are the things that you do initially when you sit down to work on his books. Then you have our cardio is all of the things that Craig has asked you to do. So if he's asking you to send out an invoice, he's asking you to pay a bill maybe. And in this case, he went to the bank, so you could see that. And then we have in the strength section, every month is focused on as a deep dive into a particular feature. So in the February, we're all talking about estimates and purchase orders. And so you get a scenario of all the stuff that's happened to Craig, and then you have to do each of the things, create the estimate, convert the estimate to a purchase order, so you can see all of these things. And then the last thing is cool down, which is the wrap-up stuff. You're going to reconcile bank accounts. You're going to generate reports, okay? Now, Maggie is asking how to access the page. It's not under the dashboard of courses. So this right here is my mouse is behaving weirdly. This is a subscription product. So this is a purchase, and if Joel isn't still here, he can put the link in the chat. Otherwise, it's just www.fastandeasyqbo.com/gym, and you can sign up. You can get a 7-day trial. You can experience it, see what it's like. So this is a subscription product. Okay, unlike the Getting Started is free. All of the other 100 exercises are free. Okay, the QBO gym, your statistics from the QBO gym feed into BooksMatch. So everybody that has a course of any kind from fastandeasyqbo.com has a BooksMatch dashboard. Now, Kim here hasn't been doing very much, and we are in the process of redesigning this dashboard. But you can see you have an ability to put in information about you, and then you can put in your certificates that you've earned. You can link to any reviews that you have on site, and then right here under training activity, we're actually tracking your skills that you are learning. And there is this little button right here that says open to work, and you can actually open this profile up to people who might be looking for a bookkeeper. And so they'll look and they'll see what your statistics are and what you have what skills you have verified by working in the QBO gym. Now, one of the updates that I was going to give is that, as I mentioned, we're still working on redesigning this. Like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I said, "Oh, we don't like it. We're getting a new designer, and hopefully next week I'll have something to show you." And then the next week I was like, "We didn't like that design. We fired that designer. We're hiring a different designer." So now we have a different designer, and I said, "Okay, next week we should have the design, so I'll be able to show it to you." And then we got the design. We didn't like it. Anyway, he's making tweaks, and I don't know when we will. It's in the works. We gave more feedback. I had to, during one of my breaks in the conference, like I created a loom saying, "Okay, we need this and we need that." So it's in progress. All right. Margie, somebody's asking, can you update us on the other side? On the other side of BooksMatch, is it being actively marketed to potential clients? If so, how and where? It is sort of being marketed. We regularly have demos with accounting firms and to show off you guys. Our goal is that they will show you off and that they'll hire you for things. We are starting a campaign for recruiters, so that recruiters who are looking to fill bookkeeping positions will be directed to us. We're not, it's happening. It's not happening super fast because we don't like the design, because we don't feel like the design currently really shows off what you guys are learning. And how amazing you are. It's like when you first go in, it's initially difficult to read. It's not immediately apparent what you've done and who's good. So that's why we're redesigning it. Anyway, let's see. So it's coming. Like, this is really the big. Getting this redesigned, I keep telling the team, like, that's our linchpin, or that's our domino. Like, that's our number one thing. Once this is redesigned, then we can go full bore and do that. So there's three things that we're doing. One is we're targeting people who have job openings, to saying, "Hey, if you have job openings, here's here we are. Here's look at these candidates." So that's one. The other is firms who are maybe hiring staff bookkeepers, accounting, that need bookkeepers. Everybody needs bookkeepers, guys. There's a huge shortfall in the world. There's more people that need bookkeepers than there are bookkeepers, okay? So we're trying to direct, so we're having interviews with accounting firms. And then the third bucket, which should I even tell you about yet? Let me just say there's a third bucket. There's a third bucket that's coming that's for the small business owners themselves. And I think that's the one you guys are probably most excited about. Okay, let's see. Okay. All right. Okay, I think I got everything in the chat. So let's go ahead. So this, I think I gave all my announcements about BooksMatch and the QBO gym. Now, one of the things that we are measuring in the QBO gym that will display on the dashboard is how frequently you are upskilling, okay? So we specifically, when we were interviewing recruiters, we were specifically asked to have some mechanism where you could prove that you are still active and looking for work, looking for jobs. Because just having that little open to work thing, people forget about it. And we talked to one in particular who said her biggest frustration was reaching out to people who then came back to her and said, oh no, I already found something, or I'm not looking. And she said, I waste so much time chasing dead leads, like people who aren't actually still working. And so that's why, but if you have done all of the work in the entire gym, there's no way for you to prove that you're still working. And that's why we created the exercise of the week. Let's see, somebody has, so Ellen is asking, if you aren't in the gym, can you open it for work? No, it's only for people who are active members of the gym. So the exercise of the week is designed to keep you active in the gym. Now, if you have already done all of the work, there's nothing for you to do. But if you have, there's nothing for you to do, which is why you need to keep doing the exercise of the week. But if you have not finished the whole gym, then just keep working in the gym. Just keep working in the gym, and you'll get verified, you'll get noticed, and all of that. However, I recognize that a lot of people still want the exercise of the week. They still enjoy it. They want to be on this live stream. And so we now open up the exercise of the week. Obviously, you can attend the live stream right here with me and get the exercise of the week always, no matter where you are in the gym, even if you don't have the gym. But if you, I lost my train of thought. So if you have finished, if you've earned 250 points in the gym, so that's roughly half of the gym, of the year one of the gym, then we unlock this. It's a separate course, and you can access even more exercises. Okay, so that's how you get the exercise of the week. All right, so now enough talking. Let's get into our exercise. Okay, so our exercises come from, at least for a little bit, for the first half of the year, they are coming from the Pro Advisor challenges inside your QBO, inside your QBOA account. Now I'm going to stop my screen share for a minute, and I'm going to load up. I had this set up before, but I forgot that I had to go to the sample company. Okay. No, that's not what I want. Sign out. Here we go. Sign in. Okay. Okay. So let me share this again. All right. So here we are inside. This is one of our test accounts. So again, this is not the sample company. This is a real QBOA account. You can tell because it's gray on the side. It says accountant up here. And I always forget to mention there's this little your practice section. That's how you can tell you're in a QBOA account. Okay. So, so inside here under Pro Advisor and Training, you can go to the training library. And then they have different types of training. The first one is the product training, and they have several different products that'll usually open up to QuickBooks Online. I'm going to close that. So you can see they also have training on QuickBooks Payments, online payroll, and time. And then in addition to the product training, they also have these foundational skills, advising clients, tax training. Okay, so there's other training. But what we're concerned about is the QuickBooks Online training. And each of these tiles is a module inside the QuickBooks Online training. And the exercise of the week for the next, the first half of this year is going to be Pro Advisor challenges. So this Pro Advisor Challenge, we're going to click here. This is going to be creating a sales receipt. So we're going to do another exercise on creating a sales receipt, but you're going to learn that Intuit is actually doing it wrong. And I'm going to see if you guys can figure out what's wrong about it. Okay. So we're going to click here to create a sales receipt. Joel has already put the link in the chat for those of you who don't have this. Okay, so you're getting it for free right now. Okay, so here is our scenario. Help Craig create a sales receipt for a customer. Here's what you need to know. The sales receipt is for Kate Whelan. Craig received $60 in cash. The payment is for maintenance repair. Okay, all right. D, I will answer your question in just a minute. Okay. So as I mentioned, these are all Pro Advisor challenges. Okay, so that means that they are written by Intuit and are available inside your QBO account. Okay, and we have at the top where to find if you want to find the original account or do the training that goes with it. So this is what we just did. On the left navigation bar, we hovered over Pro Advisor, we clicked training, went to the training library, we went to QuickBooks Online, and then here it says click on the sales and customers tile. Okay, so that's where we are. Okay, so here's the different tiles. Here's the sales and customer tile. Oops. Let's see. Okay, so the sales and customers tile, then we're going to go to beginner skills. So notice here it says beginner skills. I'm going to just close this up so you can see. There's beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So this one is a beginner skill. Okay, and then you'll notice that it says beginner skills, creating a sales receipt section. Okay, which is right here, creating sales receipts. Okay, and then the Pro Advisor Challenge is usually at the bottom. Sometimes you can go right to it. Sometimes you have to answer a knowledge check question before it. Okay, and then this is what it looks like. Okay, so this is your scenario. Notice this is just what we said. Kate Whelan, $60 in cash, maintenance and repair. And then they don't actually tell you how to do it until down here, our solution, click this, click that, but there's no pictures. So that's why we put it in our signature style here so that you can more easily follow along. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is just like before, we have to reload the sample company. Okay, so I'm going to go back here to the gear icon, select sample company, and click continue. I think that that's too late for me to check. I think they tell you how to load this, like load the sample company in an incognito window maybe, so you can have their Pro Advisor Challenge and the sample company open at the same time. Okay, but here's what we're going to do. All right, so here's our exercise sample. So we just opened the sample company. Yep, we logged out. Okay, just like before. Okay, we're going to click the plus new button and select sales receipt. Okay, plus new sales receipt. This time it was Kate Whelan, so I can just type Kate and she'll pop up. Notice this time her information did pop in because for Kate, her customer record in QBO already has all of her information. So that's why it popped in. It didn't for Dylan in the previous one. Okay. So let's go back to the exercise, sales receipt. Okay, so we picked her. Okay, now, so the date of the transaction, again, where's my exercise? I forgot. Here we go. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Okay, here we go. So the date of the sales receipt, we're just going to leave that for today. Again, you want to make sure that that's correct. And what was the payment method? It was cash, right? So in the payment method field, so just like with Dylan, it was cash. Okay, so I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to select cash. And then let's go back and see what they, okay. So here's step 5. In the deposit to field, click the down arrow to expand. Click on checking. All right, here is your interactive. Here is your interactive in the chat. What is wrong with this? What is wrong with this? I'm just going to wait for a minute because I'm sure you guys know. And yeah, so let's talk about it. There's something very wrong with this. Yes, a Facebook user just typed undeposited funds. So it should be undeposited funds, right? It should be undeposited funds because it's cash. It's not going right into the bank. It's not going into right in the bank. But the exercise that Intuit gave, it says checking. They want that. This is absolutely wrong. This is Intuit's Pro Advisor Challenge, and I'm actually going to live on the call. I'm going to add. I wanted to leave it so you guys could guess what the answer was, but live on the call, I am going to actually put in a warning right here. Alert. Note. In a real life scenario, you should, oh my goodness, you know, it's always when I'm live that I can't type. You should use undeposited funds, and someone else actually wrote or payments to deposit. Yes, Christopher said cash has not yet been deposited yet. Yeah. Or payments to deposit when collecting cash, or when recording. That's when recording cash payments. Let me say that. Okay. In a real life scenario, you should use undeposited funds or payments to deposit when recording cash payments. This example, let me say, the example below comes directly from Intuit's Pro Advisor Challenge, but is incorrect. There we go. Okay. So now, so now future people going through this exercise will see that. All right, good job, guys. Good job. Okay, so, but we're going to do it the wrong way because that's the way Intuit's telling us to do it. We're going to select checking. And then, so that's for cash. So for cash, it's never going to be a bank account. It's always going to be undeposited funds or payments to deposit. Who uses cash anymore, right? Who uses cash? So this is not probably a common thing. If you're collecting a check, which people do still write checks, and I know a lot of my vendors prefer checks because they can deposit checks without a fee coming out. If you're accepting a credit card, then there's always a fee. So I think checks are becoming more frequent, actually. So if you're collecting a check on the sales receipt, and you use the mobile deposit at that moment, you use your mobile deposit to deposit that check, then it's okay to put checking account here in the deposit to. But if you are depositing that check later, or you're taking it to the bank, that's when you want to use undeposited funds. All right, let's finish up this exercise. All right, so we put in checking. So now we're doing maintenance and repair. Maintenance and repair. And let's see, it was $60, right? $60. Okay, type $60. Save and close. And again, this is a real life scenario. In a real life scenario, we could send it if we wanted to, but you can't send emails from the sample company. All right, so somebody earlier mentioned marketing prompts. Now, this was something that I had been promising you for a couple of weeks, and I did write one for today. So now in the exercise of the week, we have a bonus marketing prompt, and I will add these to the rest of them too. But this is so for those of you who don't know what a marketing prompt is, so I'm just going to take it off screen. Okay, if you don't know what a marketing prompt is, a marketing prompt is something that you get as part of your gym membership. When you actually verify your skills and you actually learn a topic, people are always telling me that they don't know how to market because they don't know what to say. Okay, so for every group of exercises that you complete in the gym, you get some sample marketing prompts, and you can do whatever you want with these things. You can post them as is on your LinkedIn feed. You can, I have some people putting them in image, like using Canva to putting them in images. I have somebody who uses them and puts them in ChatGPT to actually write a whole article that you put on LinkedIn. I mean, the most important thing is that you are constantly telling people that you are a QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor, which brings me to 321. Now, we don't, at Fast and Easy QBO, we are not marketing instructors. We cannot help you build your business other than the tools that we already have in place. Okay, so I see a lot of comments in the locker room. Oh, how do I get my first client? How do I? Okay, that's not what we can help. We can't help you with that. We have, if you go to, and Joel is gone now, so I can't put it in the chat, but fastandeasyqbo.com/resources. There are some peer groups in there where you can post questions like that. There are some marketing courses that you can take to learn how to market your business. We don't do that at all. We point you to those other people. However, I did attend, I'm in this group, I'm in this mastermind group thing, and with an organization called Bold House. And they teach a thing called 321, which is now like my mantra for you guys. Like, this is like, if you want clients, like this is what you need to be doing. So here is the 321 metric. The 321 metric, and maybe I should post this actually. I should pin this in the featured section so that it is so that it's easily accessible there. But so 3 times a day, you are going to individually reach out to a person. So this is not posting something on social media. It's not sending a newsletter to a bunch of people. It's not putting up a flyer in your neighborhood, okay? It's reaching out to an individual person. And you can do it however you want. You can send a text, you can make a phone call, you can send them an email, direct message, like whatever. The purpose of this is you're going to do this 3 times a day. You're going to say, hey, FYI, I am a QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor. Do you know any small business owners who use QuickBooks Online? If so, I would love to be connected. Okay, that's it. All you're doing is you're finding the people who could use you. You're not marketing your services. You're not trying to sell anybody. You're just casting your net so that you can connect to the people that could use your services. You're going to do 3 of those every day, okay? And then the goal is to connect to 2 people every week that could use your services. So now those first 3, they're just going to be friends, relatives, or whatever. They're not going to be necessarily people that could actually use your services. You're going to just connect with those people. Hey, I would love to stay connected. You're going to connect them in your LinkedIn group, whatever you're using. You're just going to you're just widening. You're just telling people this is what I do. I'm a QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor. Okay. Then so 2 of those. So the goal then is to find 2 people who are candidates for your services. Okay. Again, you're just looking for, okay, I would like to, in a week, meet 2 small business owners who actually use QuickBooks Online, okay? And connect with them, introduce yourself, say, hey, I'm a QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor. If there's anything you need, let's just stay connected. Again, this is not a sales pitch. You're just connecting with them, making sure that they know you. And then once they're in your world, you want to make sure that they always remember that you are a QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor. And the way that you're going to help them remember is by always posting content. And this is where you use the marketing prompts. It's just a way to keep in people's minds that this is what you do. Okay? That's all it is a way to keep people. Marketing is different than sales. Marketing is awareness. Sales is actually closing the deal. Okay? So you're going to do that. So that's 2. So we've got 3 individual contacts every week. Okay? I'm sorry. Yeah, every day. Sorry. 3 individual reach outs every day. 2 connections to people who could potentially use your services with the goal of doing 1 diagnostic review every month. Okay? So the goal is to eventually get 1 person that you're actually going in and doing a diagnostic review. If you don't know how to do a diagnostic review, that is the purpose of our cleanup course, fastandeasyqbo.com/cleanup, where Corey teaches you actually how to go into somebody's books and learn what to look for, how much to charge, all of that good stuff. Okay. Now, so what I had said was, let me go back. So now you understand marketing prompts. Now for the exercise of the week. And actually, you know what? We should put this. Is there anyone who has this open that could put it in the chat? Because Joel is gone because he had an appointment at noon. If anyone can, because I can't put in the chat. If anybody has this open and can put it in the chat, for those of you who either don't qualify for the exercise of the week yet, or don't qualify for it yet, or don't have a subscription at all, I will remember. This is the first time we've done this, so I will remember next time to give that to Joel. Okay, so let me go back through. We are just about out of time. Let me go back to the chat here. Let's see. So, so Ellen, I think you were the last one that I answered. Let's see. Nora got her question answered. Yeah, so you can only click open to work if you're an active member of the gym. I answered that question. Liz says, my understanding is that let me get off of screen share so that'll be easier. Okay. Liz says, my understanding is we only receive the exercise of the week. We do not receive it until we have half a year finished in the gym. Yes, that's true. So you will own it if you have, I set it up as 250 points, which is roughly half of the gym, because there's no way for me to just say half of the gym. So I just set it as 250 points, which is roughly, and when you do 250 points in the gym, it will automatically unlock exercise of the week. So you will have that, and you can use that to for Books Match. Okay. If you attend the live stream live, then we'll give you the link so that you can have just another exercise and you get it for free, and it's just, for being here on the call. And but you have to do, if you want Books Match credit, you can't use the link that we post in the chat. You have to do it through the Exercise of the Week course. So good question. I hope that cleared that up. Okay. D says, can I redo some of the months I have already completed? Yes, you absolutely can. So if you go up to, let me show you. Let me share my screen again. If you go to choose your workout, that will get you to the page that I have here, and you can absolutely open these up, and you can go through and you can do any of them again. Once you have earned the Books Match credit, though, you don't get credit again for doing them again. There's technologically right now, there's no way for us to do that. Maybe in the future. But once you've done all of year one, then year two opens up, and year two, that was my other announcement. Okay, so we have so year one fully complete. It actually starts in February, goes through January, and then we've been working on year two. Year two, guys, is really cool. It's more challenging, and it includes an AI element to it that our early testers have loved. So that happens as soon as you get 100% of year one, then it should unlock year two. Now we've been having some technical difficulties with year two, so we haven't opened it up yet other than to our early testers. But I finally figured out yesterday, or maybe it was Wednesday, I finally figured out what the problem was. And so now that we know what the problem is, we can fix it, and that year two should be available to the public, to anyone who has finished 100% of the gym. That will automatically unlock, okay? And you are in year two, you're actually doing the same stuff that you did in year one, but it's more challenging, okay? So I think that will help you. I can't remember now, D, if you asked that question. So you can, if you're not there yet, if you're not ready to unlock year two, yes, you can keep doing year one style, and then year two, when you're ready. If you believe that if you cannot figure out, so some of you, and I need to send an email about this. I will send an email once it's fully released to the public. But if you're like in the high 90s and you're like, I can't figure out why I'm not at 100, I should be at 100. Email us, support@FastandEasyQBO, and we'll look at your account, and we'll figure out where the problem is, and we'll make sure that you get up to 100%. Okay, so that was D. Emily asked, does the gym come with any of the courses? No, the gym is an entirely different beast. The courses are, the majority of our courses are related specifically to the certifications. And then we also have the cleanup course, which is separate, so not related to the gym. But the gym, they all intertwine. We're still doing the same thing, and we're still using QuickBooks Online, so there's some crossover and some reinforcement that you get, but no, they don't automatically come with any of the courses. We actually tried that at one point. We actually gave people the option to add on the gym when they got the courses, but it just confused people, so we stopped doing that. Okay. Kim says, D, I have the same question, so hopefully I got that answered. Liz said Pro Advisor challenges, something new. Yeah, just more ways for you to practice. Let's see. D says, if I can reduce some of the previously completed exercise in the gym, I answered that question already. No. Currently, if you, once you have done that exercise, you get that credit. And then just redoing that same exercise doesn't give you more credit. But like I said, the year two version of it, you'll get credit again when you do the year two version of it, which is the harder, like it's the harder version of the same thing. Okay. Ellen says, can we get credit for the exercise of the week even if we aren't in the gym? No, the term credit only applies to the gym. So even, and we get this question sometimes too, is like, well, if I do if I have the basic course and I'm going through the exercise there, do I get credit for those? And the answer is no, because some people come to us that already have their basic certification. And so we can't require them to go through all of the basic certification and get credit, or like that. It wouldn't work out fairness. So you either have the certification or you don't for the certifications. And then for the gym activities, it's inside the gym and the exercise of the week. Okay. Let's see. Undeposited funds. Yay. Okay. Yep. All of you guys got it. It should go to undeposited funds. It should not go to the checking. Let's see. Somebody said, if you do daily deposits, can you select checking and bypass undeposited funds? You can. I mean, you can do whatever you want. It would make me a little nervous, because what if one day you don't, right? I mean, it's really not a good idea. Or if the other thing is if you were doing it after the fact, that would be another time where it would be acceptable to say that it went to checking. So let's say we used my example of this happens all day and Craig's just like writing those little carbon copy receipts, and because he's just handwriting them, he's collecting cash. Maybe this is happening at a farmer's market, right? So it's like all of that, and then he gives you the stack of those carbons to enter, and he has already taken that money and put it in the checking account. Actually, that wouldn't be a good thing either, because then it wouldn't match the deposits. I mean, the idea of undeposited funds, and we'll have a whole separate lesson on undeposited funds, but the idea of undeposited funds is that it groups everything together. So you're going to have this sale for $10, this sale for $15, this sale for $100, but then when you go to the bank, you're going to deposit $125, okay? And so you want to make sure that what you actually deposited matches what, like that is the same. So cash deposits, even if it had already been deposited, you really wouldn't want to do that. The only time where I think it's maybe acceptable to just put it to the checking account would be in the case of a check. Cash, no, you really shouldn't. Okay. All right, let's see. Somebody says, it makes the checking overstated, income overstated if they use checking, and let's say the business chose to deposit later, like next month. It's the same with received payments, especially when they run the report in cash basis. Yes. Pamela says, do you need to complete the marketing prompts in order to get 100%? No. Marketing prompts are extra credit. They're not part of the required to get up to 100%. Billy says, so did you say that year 2 is not available to members yet? I don't see it in my courses. Yes, that is what I said, because we were having technical issues with it, and we finally figured out what the technical issue is. So now that we know, we can get it fixed, and that should be there by Monday. And you'll get an email, assuming that you're signed up and getting our emails, which, as you know, if you've been around for a while, we've been having issues with this. People keep unsubscribing or claiming that we're spam and then complaining they're not getting our emails. So assuming, Billy, that you are signed up, you're getting our emails, then by Monday at the latest, we'll release year 2, and I can't wait for you to see it, because it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right, let's see. Oh, I think that was Billy. I think Billy was the last question. All right, well, so much for ending on time. But at least I didn't talk for the first half hour. We got a lot of work done. We got working through 2 different exercises, and you guys got to see what was, you got to catch the problem of Intuit. I love it when that happens. I mean, it's frustrating. They shouldn't be telling us bad information, but it's also cool that we can notice it and talk about it. All right. Kim says, thank you. Have a great weekend. And I will say the same. Thank you. Have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday for Mindset Monday. And for those of you who don't know what that is just me hopping on to, I don't have a set time. And I just do it when I can, because Mondays are always crazy for me. Hop on and just share a little nugget of wisdom to kind of kick off your week. And you'll catch it live, or you'll watch the recording. And anyway, so I will see you on Monday, and you guys have a great weekend. And if you're celebrating the extra day that we have this week, then have a great extra holiday as well. All right, take care. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.